you can go all the way to 190 ninth interval. And there's a clever little thing in the game where if you read the instruction manual, it'll give you this little thing where here we are, about 20 years or 15 years before the past begins, and they're at a Dragonrider conclave, and it lists out a bunch of weir leaders, and the closer you begin to 190 ninth interval, the better chance that those weir leaders will show up in the character list. The further away you get from the ninth interval, the less likely they'll be there because they died off or they got replaced during a mating flight. So that's a clever little touch that the game has. So like I said, what you do is you press the left and right arrow keys. So I told you there's a little bit of keyboarding in here. You press the left and right arrow key to change the turn, and you press the up and down arrow key to change the day. Now you can only do this in version 1.4 and above. Version 1.3 you couldn't change the day, you can only change the turn, and in version 1.2 and below you typed in a number corresponding to what turn you wanted to start at. You entered 0 to start at the beginning of the 10th pass, you entered 50 to start at the beginning of the 10th interval. Remember, there are 50 turns in a pass, and you entered a negative number to start in the 9th interval, negative 10 all the way to negative 0.00001. And you can make the game super hard at you by typing in negative 0.00001, because then you'd start 1 hour before the 10th pass starts, and that's a really difficult game to have. So once you pick the interval that you want the time that you want to start at, the turn you want to start at, and the day that you want to start at, press return, and then it'll let you choose the beginning difficulty of the game. And what this is this determines how well everyone will like you at the beginning of the game. You can start off, the opinions range from despise you and the dragon you ride, disdain you, be indifferent, respect you, or hold you in high regard. Again, people who played the Epix game recognize that. So this game was very heavily inspired by the Epix version. So, however, when you start off at the rank of weir leader, the opinions can range anywhere from despise to hold you in high regard, and you can adjust the difficulty. It goes weir leader, wing second, wing rider, weirling. When you start weirling, everybody will hold you in high regard. Wing rider, respect, high regard. Wing second, indifferent, respect, and so on. This affects the opinions of people at the very beginning of the game. It does not affect the opinions of people who are generated throughout the game after the start. So if someone dies or they're replaced for whatever reason, their opinion can range the entire gamut. This only affects the very beginning of the game. So once you decide the where you want to start off at, let's start wheeling. So let's pick wing second, just because I'm going to be changing this every time I start the game in order to show you different stuff. So let's just pick wing second. So hit return, and there you are. Now you start using the mouse. Left click to begin. So here is your cursor. You can see it on the screen. Here is the clock. The screen is divided in 3 segments. Remember, the 1X version, it just has one screen. It shows the menu. It shows this menu, most of this menu. And you type in your commands. Now here we are, version 2X. This screen up here in the top, this is for messages and information. This screen in the lower left-hand corner, this is your menu and prompts, your main menu and prompts, and the lower right are sub-menus. So we'll see all that in just a bit. Now, in the 1X versions, you can stop the clock by cheating, by pressing a key or pressing the scroll lock button. In the 2X versions, you can't. The game will just keep going. So expect events and stuff to pop up here while I'm talking. So there's nothing I can actually do to stop that. There actually is one. The menu command will stop the clock, and again, this is where you have to use the keyboard. I'll get into that in just a minute. So the first command is the character profile. Now there are 166 characters you have to deal with, 0 through 65. You have 100 Dragon Riders, up to 20 Weirlings. You start off with 10. See, I told you events would happen. 3 Weirwomen, 1 senior Weirwoman, 2 junior Weirwomen. Here are your other 7 Weir leaders. Remember, I said the closer you start to 190 ninth interval, the more likely you're going to see the names of the weir leaders that were listed in the manual. Here they all are. You have 5 weir craftsmen, weir singer, which is your harper, healer, tanner, herder, and miner, and their corresponding master craftsmen. And of course, here you have 26 lords and holders. You deal with all the lord holders of Pern, but you only deal with your own minor holders, the minor holders that are bound to your weir. You can see Cove, he's a lord holder, but the rest, these are minor holders: Mineshaft, Paradise, Lost, Palisade. And then you go back to the major holders again: Fort Ruth. You don't deal with the minor holders of the other weir-bound holds. You only deal with yours. So use the arrow keys to go up and down. This submenu will limit you to the characters that you can select. So if you're limited to who you can select, they will only show up here. In the 1X versions, it doesn't do that. You have to you type in the character number, and if you type in the wrong number, the character that you're not allowed to do something with, it'll give you a little error message, and you have to start all over. So you don't have to do that here. You can see for your Dragon Riders, it will list the weir leader, wing leader. Your wings consist of 10 Dragon Riders, 1 wing leader, 1 wing second, and 8 wing riders, and they all can be any color. Your wing riders can be any color. Your wing leader will always be bronze. Your wing seconds will be bronze or brown. Now you can change these up. You can put different colors in wherever you want, but know that the game will penalize you if you don't have a bronze wing leader or if you don't have a bronze or brown wing second. So keep your bronze and bronzes in the wing second position, and keep bronze wing leaders. So here we go. We're going to pick, let's pick you. Let's pick the weir leader, character 0. So here's the character number. It's character 0. Here's your name. And notice everyone was named, and all the dragons are named. So your rider, Bronze Aerith, you're the weir leader of Ancients Plateau Weir. This line right here will tell you if you're assigned to or negotiating with anybody. We're not doing that right now. This is your status. He's currently active. You can change the status of your Dragon Riders. You can give them individual assignments. You can weir them, give them extra training, things like that. That's what this will be here. The dragon status, he can be grounded. Forgive me. Dragons are grounded. Dragon Riders are weird or active. Dragons are only grounded or active. This guy can be weird, active, or a whole bunch of other stuff. We'll get into that in just a few minutes. Everybody has 4 attributes. Morale. This affects, actually, let me say that all these numbers affect your thread fighting ability. The morale will also affect how well he is a negotiator, or how well he deals with the weir craftsmen, because you send Dragon Riders to negotiate, you send Dragon Riders to deal with your weir craftsmen. Your morale counts as 1 point 1 times in thread fighting. So if he has 2, it's going to count as 2 points. See, what it does is, in thread fighting, what it will do is it will count all this stuff up, assign it a score, and then decide whether you catch the thread or not. So you need good morale, good fatigue, good experience, and good health. The higher these numbers, the better chance you have of catching thread. Morale counts as 1. So 2 points in morale is 2 points. Fatigue, this is how tired he is. This counts as 2. So this guy has 1 point of fatigue, so in thread fighting this will count as 2 points. 1 times 2 is 2. Experience, this counts as 3. So this 4 experience is worth 12 points when it comes to thread fighting. This is the biggest number when it comes to thread fighting. This is what you want to have a lot of, this and fatigue. The morale you can kind of sort of ignore. The health you can kind of sort of ignore. The dragon health you really don't want to ignore. But the health counts as 1 in thread fighting, and the dragon health counts as 2 in thread fighting. So this 9 would be 18 points. So there's a thread fighting formula in your manual. You can look that up. I'll tell you what that is in just a little bit. Like I said, these events are just going to pop up. I can't stop them. So like I said, morale, fatigue, experience, health, and your dragon health. Other characters. See, here's the wing second. See how it says wing second to, so it tells you who he's the wing second to. Here's a wing rider. See, he's the wing rider. He's a blue guy. Oh yeah, I did forget to mention that. Everything you see is important. Like I said, the attributes are important. The dragon color is important. Dragon colors each have a different attribute going for them. Bronze dragons, they fatigue less in thread fighting. So when you start thread fighting, you're going to notice your bronze dragons don't get tired as easily. That's going to be very important because thread fighting is just going to wipe your wear out when it comes to fatigue. That is going to be your major issue when thread starts to fall. It's not so bad at the beginning, but it gets worse as it goes on. It's not going to be long before you got a really tired wear. Let's see. Your brown dragons, they bring candidates for search at twice the amount that other colors will do. So when you got a clutch of eggs hardening on the ground and you send Dragonriders out on search, if you send browns out, they will bring candidates in more than the other colors will. Blue dragons, they will heal faster than other dragon colors. That only applies to the dragon. So if you got an injured dragon, the blue guy will heal faster than the greens and the bronzes and the browns. Your green dragons are more agile, so they catch thread better. So in thread fighting, you kind of want to, your green dragons are your go-to dragons. They're going to catch the thread better. So maybe your strategy is to have an entire wing of greens with the brown wing second and the bronze wing layer. You got to have those. It's absolutely vital that you have those correct colors. But everyone else is a green. They'll catch thread better. So maybe they're your wild weasel, or you have them at the lower levels to catch thread and things like that. So okay, moving on. Here are your weirlings. Like I said, you can have up to 20 of them. Here's their status. They can be weird. They can be weird or grounded. That's all they can do. This guy is available for wing assignment. Here's his training level. Notice they don't have a fatigue or an experience. They just have a training level. The training level is from 0 to 99. If they're 50 and above, they're considered available for wing assignment. If they're 99, they're considered training complete. And if they are less than 50, for life of me, I actually can't remember what it's called. It's called in training. There, see, I'm supposed to be telling you how to play this game, and some stuff I don't remember. It's a very, very big game. So, in version 2X, I'll tell you that part later. It had to do with transfers. I'll do that when I talk about transfers. The character profile is pretty big. Let's just focus. Okay, here are your weirwomen. Notice this character 120. She is the senior weirwoman. Senior weirwomen do stuff for you. She has a health and a dragon health. She respects you. She is one of the major characters. You can't negotiate with her. There's only one way. There are only two ways to change their opinion. I will see. I talked about clutches and things like that. So there's your junior woman. She's indifferent to me. Jerk. I sent her flowers too. So here are your weird leaders, and notice the Atri. This is kind of an inside joke. The original Dragonriders of Pern was programmed on an Atari. So this is Atari as a Dragon Rider name. This is the exception to the rule. All Dragon Riders, the apostrophe has to be in the first position, or the only time it's allowed in the second position if it starts with SH. This is the only exception to the rule.